Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid to late July 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Virgo collective in mid to late July? We are moving on into Leo season pretty soon, which means Virgo season's right around the corner, my friends. Are you planning those birthday parties yet? But let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo mid to late July. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's have ourselves some fun, my good friends. What do we have for Virgo? All right, cool. So this card does show up for you from time to time. It's one of the more rare cards. We have the Alchemist. And whenever he does show up, I always say it reminds me of the Hermit, which is one of your power cards. So I always like when I get this card at the beginning of a Virgo reading. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as we can see, we have this individual here looking at that potion intently, right? Notice he has the alchemical symbol for the sun right there over the third eye, which to me represents illumination. Eureka, I've found it, I've done it. Like, I know what I need to know. It's a beautiful card. Now, it does have that hermit archetype, because when I think of alchemists, I think of someone that's like alone in the lab doing their own thing. So in a Virgo reading, this could be great for inner wisdom, for soul searching, anything spiritual. It's great for spiritual protection as well. But where we diverge a little bit is this card can also represent focus. Notice that this person is deadlock focused on that creation and potion. So this could be great for manifesting, creating, bringing things forth. But there could also be certain things where Spirit's like, hey, Virgo, maybe pay attention to this, or maybe don't pay so much attention to that. I would say watch out for tunnel vision in this time with anything or situation, because Spirit could be saying like, hey, there's something else that might need your attention. But all in all, this is a very good introspective card, and you might be embodying the hermit-like qualities, which again isn't a bad thing. To me, it could also be solitude, but we're just going to put him down right there. He's doing his work, right, having those eureka moments. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Virgo friends. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled An Urgent Situation, and the overarching theme was a sense of urgency. So again, whether it's a situation that popped up, something that you've been dealing with, or even something where it's like, I just want to get this done. Like there was this very urgent, like, let's do this, let's get this squared away type of energy. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks where you might have a sense of urgency about you. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my beautiful Virgo friends. What do we have in mid to late July? Queen of Pentacles. All right. I think she showed up in the Capricorn reading in the same spot. That's another Virgo power card. So not only do we start with like your hermit archetype with the Oracle, now we have another Virgo power card. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. Okay, 4 cups, the inward facing. All right, we got the 4 cups, which isn't a bad card. It's just doing a lot of thinking, right? I mean, maybe you're in that mode. I mean, it could be anyone really. Let's get one more out here, and we'll start piecing this together. I like the elemental combination, that's for sure. What we got? Cool. King of Swords. Lots of people for some reason. So it's funny that I had the Hermit, but now I'm getting like all these different people starting to show up. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that paints a picture, and it gives us a nice foundation about how the energy might be flowing. And we have a good mix this week, right? We have earth, water, and air. Cool. Now, these could be totally different things in situations. I always say the earth and water blend to make blessings and abundance. There is a lot of inward thinking too. So there's some themes that are already starting to show up. But with earth, again, your power element, your comfort zone, this is where Virgo is most comfortable. And when it comes to earth, I think of results, I think of predictability, I think of routine, day to day life. Every day at this time, I do this. There's a structure to it. I like it because it could also deal with money, work, business, finance. So you might be in pentacle mode. It's a very motivated type of element, which is great. It's yeah, huge for blessings and abundance. But the downside to the pentacles, it's a slow mover, right? Like it's not an energy that's moving fast, and sometimes it could be a little stubborn. Now, in the center, we do have the water showing up. This is matters of the heart. It's the emotional realm. It's a little bit soft around the edges. It's a little more. Uh, it's definitely intuitive, but it's sentimental, if I were to put it one way, right? Whereas like not everything here is the water for sure is. It could deal with partnerships, connections. I think of anything we're emotionally invested in, whether it's a person or a situation. We think of emotional health and well-being and things we care about, and it is very expressive and creative. But what might be the downside to the cups, to the water? It's like the tides, it ebbs, it flows, it's up, it's down, and sometimes it can overwhelm. But then here on the back end, we do have an energy that offsets it, right? We have the swords, which is air. That's very logical, pragmatic, straightforward, and to the point. So again, we have the heart and mind, what I feel versus what I logically think. Now, it could deal with gathering information, planning, strategy. So again, we do have this little underlying structure starting to show up here. And it's all about perspective and mindset. Now, the big thing with the swords too, when we look at the challenge, sometimes it could overthink, right? Sometimes it can overanalyze, analysis paralysis. It could be a little on edge, and sometimes it could even be cold and detached. So I'd say the good thing is all the energy balances each other off. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, Queen of Pentacles. Now, as I mentioned, this is one of your power cards. Really like the Queen of Pentacles. And I always say when it comes to all queens, they represent the internal aspect of the suit. We already spoke about the suit in depth. Now, in my style, when we clarify, it could just tell us something that's coming towards you or what you might be feeling, because this is big earth sign energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But this to me is inner stability and security, or wanting for it. When I look at her, I think of the Empress type of archetype, where I think of blessings and abundance and fertility and love and care and nurturing. So this is a great card. But the downside to the Queen of Pentacles, it could sometimes feel like she's in a loop, or she's not making any progress, or feeling stuck. So again, when I'm picking up hermit-like energy and we get the Queen of Pentacles, it's like, all right, that's good. It's steady. It's grounded. Just watch out for any things or situations that are a little stubborn when she shows up. But we'll see. And again, like lots of people here, I only pull like a 3 card main spread before I get into clarifying. We have a lot of other people's energy showing up. So if you're sensitive to the energy of others, just keep an eye on that in this time, right? Because you might want to do some like energy protection. Now, in the center, we have the 4 of Cups, and we see this lady. She's sitting under the tree. She might be having a little snooze, taking a little nap. She's looking at those 3 cups. She does not see the Ace of Cups that the universe is handing her. Now, again, like, yeah, could this represent missed opportunity? Sure. That's more of like the classic realm. But to me, this is like inward thinking, inward energy focus. So again, you might be daydreaming a little more. This energy could be very head in the clouds. And this is great for creativity and expressing oneself. So if you like any sort of creative outlet, this is highly favored because it's great for ideas. But it can also definitely overthink. So that's the downside we need to watch out for with the 4 of Cups, because analysis paralysis, or again, just something in the mind that we want to look at, which isn't a bad thing. There could be some good things coming in, though, I could tell you that, especially with the Queen of Pentacles and now like the Ace of Cups within the card. Now, on the back end, we have another person. We have the King of Swords. And this is air sign energy normally. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And kings are different than queens. Kings represent control of their suit, whereas like the queens represent the inner version of the suit. This guy is trying to control everything. So this is like a master strategist, a master communicator. And again, this could be an energy you're stepping into. It's very planned out, very structured. Nothing gets past this King of Swords. Again, straightforward to the point, no frills. Wants all the information, needs all the information. Remember, this is all about the mindset. So there could be a thirst for knowledge and knowing in this time, more so than usual. So I like the King of Swords. And the only downside to him is that, yes, it can be cold. This could be an energy that is so motivated to see something through that it's like, I don't care whose feelings I hurt, I'm getting this done. And he does show up sometimes when there is something serious going on or something that should be taken serious, right? Because this guy's serious. But other people's energy here, like, we're gonna have to see if we're focusing more on you or other people, or maybe it's a mix of both. But there's a lot of people for one reason or another. But let's go through. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for our beautiful Virgo friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the beautiful Queen of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. What do we got? Okay. All right. Again, another person, watch your energy levels in this time, right? Make sure you're not burning the candle at both ends, burning yourself out. When I see the Page of Wands in reverse, it could be an energy that feels like zapped, feels tired. So whether it's just energy overall, maybe there's even something going on, a situation where it's like, oh, I don't even want to talk about it, right? It could be like one of those. Whereas sometimes we're motivated to solve things and fix things and speak about things. Sometimes we just don't have the energy to do it. So watch out for that. And again, it could be someone else. It doesn't have to be you. We have every suit out here, but the Page of Wands is usually very amped up. Like, yeah, let's do this, motivated, lots of energy, going forward. And I always say all pages are students and messengers. So this could be about communication for sure. But when he's in reverse under the Queen of Pentacles, either one, it is that I'm tired of something, I'm tired in general, or this could be biting your tongue, where it's like, I know I need to speak about this, but can we put a pin in it? Can we talk about it another time? It's like one of those. So I don't necessarily feel like it's a rough energy around communication. It just feels like it doesn't have a lot of energy to give for whatever reason. We're going to keep moving. And again, if this is like a person that you find draining or a situation that you find draining, hey, maybe you do need to take a step back for a minute. That's very possible. But let's see what's up with the Four of Cups. We're not going to overcomplicate it. I would say make sure in this time you're getting proper rest, relaxation. Maybe some of you need a vacation, right? That it could easily be that. It doesn't always have to be like a big grandiose thing, right? Let's see what's up with the Four of Cups. How's the Four of Cups here for Virgo? Okay. It's like I can't get this thing off my mind. All right. So we have the Devil in the upright. Underneath the Four of Cups, which again, I mean, it's Earth. It could just be a Capricorn's energy here. And I'm not going to get into the whole laundry list of all the challenges that the devil can mean. Now, I will say this in the positive, devil can represent the earthly. So we think of money and business and work similar to the earthy suit. So when I see the Four of Cups with the devil, this could be like, how can I make more money? Or how can I earn more? Or someone is highly motivated and in pentacle mode if we're looking at the more positive leaning aspect to that. So we're going to put that message to the side for now. But the Four of Cups with the cerebral vibe and the devil, this is like a repeating thought, something I can't get off my mind. It could be anxiousness, nervousness, someone that's on edge where it's like, oh, I need to get out of my mind. I need to get out of my head. It's like, why am I thinking about this? So again, watch, sometimes where you're trying to not think about something, but that causes you to think about that thing more. That's kind of what this feels like to me here in the center. So again, this doesn't have to be you. This could be somebody else. But it's like we have the thought loops happening here. So again, whether like this could be great when it comes to the money and the earning potential and figuring out ways to invest or increase those pentacles, but it can also be stress, anxiety, nervousness, or looping thoughts coming from someone, right? So we're going to keep going. Watch out for mental exhaustion too. Like with this combination platter that I'm picking up here, it feels like I'm mentally drained. So we're going to keep going. We're going to see what's up with the King of Swords. We'll see what he has. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. Because, I mean, this could be a very strategic, all about business type of vibe. So if there's any energy that could solve all this, it might be the King of Swords. So why is the King here, please? Why is the King? Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right, so this energy just does not feel too soft and cuddly and not too social. All right, we have the Three of Cups in reverse underneath it. So maybe that's why we were picking up that hermit-esque type of mode, like right in the beginning, right? Because that's kind of what I'm getting here on the back end too. Now, I will say this: the King of Swords with the Three of Cups in reverse, again, that is an energy that's all about its business. So that sense of urgency that I had last week is still here, where it's like, I need to do this, I need to square this away, this needs to get done. So again, whether that's the situation we saw last week or just that overall, um, it it's just not soft and cuddly, right? Like this energy is about business. Like game over type of energy. Like not saying that you're going here and ending this and ending that and doing all this, but it's like I don't have the energy for games. I don't have I'm just about my business. You might just be staying in your own lane too, because the Three of Cups, aside from being celebratory, representing wins and victories and all that, it could also represent socialization, right? Like people and friends and the circle around us and coworkers, you name it. Threes represent groups. So when I see it in reverse under the King of Swords, it's like, man, I'm not feeling too peoply right now. So if that's not you, this could be someone you're connected to where it's kind of like they fall off the map for a minute, or they're not being very social. Like the energy does feel a little bit closed off socially to me. So like we have a variety of different things showing up here, my friends. A lot of other people's energies. We have the three in reverse. So again, if you're energetically sensitive to the energy of other people, watch out. And this time, make sure you're protecting your vibe. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands in reverse. So again, whether it's something that you're not really wanting to discuss, or you don't have the energy to discuss, or someone or something you're not talking to or about, this energy could be it. But it also feels just tired. So again, whether you're overall tired or the energy feels low, it's like, I don't have the energy for this. This is making me feel zapped. Moving to the middle, we have the Four of Cups with the Devil in the upright. Great for coming up with ideas for money and business and thinking outside of the box for anything earthly. But it could also represent like a thought, like an invasive thought, something I can't help but thinking, thought loops, anxiety, nervousness. It's all here. So whether that's you or someone else, or whether you're feeding off that from somebody else, it could be a whole chain event of things. Watch out for mental exhaustion with this whole thing in the front. And then on the back end, we have the King of Swords with the Three of Cups in reverse. Not too soft and cuddly type of energy. So this energy is about its business, not messing around, not playing games, game over type of mindset, where it's just doing what it has to do. And again, it just doesn't feel very social. It feels like very closed off. So we kind of get that coming from two sides here. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out here. What do we got going on for Virgo, please? Thank you. Okay, yeah, other people's energy is just all over the place this week, my friends. So that kind of goes against the grain of that hermit-like mode we saw in the very beginning. We got the Lovers. Now, this card is beautiful because not only does it represent partnerships, people that we care about, soul ties, soul connections, it's also very spiritually protective. Normally, the Lovers has the Archangel Raphael depicted on it, which is very healing, very protective. So for some Virgos, maybe you need to hear that. It's not just devil energy, you have beautiful spiritual protection around you. However, the Lovers can also speak about the energetic influence that other people have on us. Not saying that every Virgo is going through relationship issues or problems. That doesn't have to be it. The Lovers aren't only lovers. It could just be someone that's very close to us where we have that energetic cord. So again, watch who and what is pulling on those energetic strings, those energetic cords with the Lovers in the shadows, right? Because there's something about like you feeding off of them or them feeding off of you. So we're just going to put that down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The July calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the July subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, I will choose 3 lucky winners to either choose a copy of the Gilded Tarot Royale, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a must-have or a handmade pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in today's reading, which one spoke to you the most, or jumped out to you the most, or resonated with you. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.